Hi, how is everyone? Good evening. I'm Mary Amy, and this is Living in the Light, and I'm all about shifting away darkness, guiding you to your true potential, and cracking open that beautiful glowing light in your heart. And yes, I have my voice back. Oh my goodness, I wasn't here yesterday. I had food poisoning. I just can't get away from being sick. But I'm so glad anyone who's here joining us. Welcome to Living in the Light. I'm Mary Amy, and I am not far from New York. I'm coming from New York. Today is February 7th. It's Tuesday in the Matrix Work Week. And we're headed into February. Go figure. Here we are together. So tonight we're going to cover topics like escape from the matrix, earthquakes, weather balloons, HAARP, and psychic phenomenon. Let me just fix this because it looks tilted to me. So I always ask everyone, did you write down your dreams? I'm going to remind you, here's my dream journal. I'm going to get into some light codes that I've received in the last year and a half, which is from extraterrestrials. And I say light codes, I should say downloads, telepathic messages. Have you received any? You know, it's one of the signs of ascension. You know, as we ascend to a higher consciousness, we raise our vibration and we are going to love, we are going to light. And it will shift away your identity, or I guess it will change how you perceive things. You will begin to look at the world from a different perspective. That's why we get into psychic phenomenon and practice some exercises, because that's where we're going, and we're going to explain that. I'm so glad everyone who's joining us. Thank you. And I always speak about our dreams, because our dreams will guide us. There'll be messages. You know, pay attention to your sleeping dreams. Maybe there's something that's written down somewhere. It might give you some kind of clue to what you should be doing. And it's just meant for you. Just like when we receive impressions, which is a mental picture, a voice, a sound, something that's coming from another source, it's the same in your dreams, because it's just personally for you. For example, last night I had a dream and it was related to money, and I'm really hoping for more financial abundance in my life. It's not something that I've really had, and I think it's my perception, and it's not about whether or not I deserve it. It's more or less I guess because I put so little emphasis on money that I have to maybe put more. So I bring more into my life. But I had a dream last night that someone was handing me a pile of money, you know, a handful of money, and it was coming out of the bank. And then I wonder about the banking system, what I've been hearing. Anyway, so share your dreams with me and us in the chat. Tell me where you're coming from. It's nice to get that kind of validation. And also, you know, we are friends. Here we are together. We're going to the light together. And eventually we will all be there. I've been speaking about the solar flash, and it seems that we must have to have an event like that, because there's so much evil that is permeating our physical reality right now. And you can see it. You can see it in the entertainment business. You can see it through the Hollywood, musicians. And it's not that they are prescribing to it. I think it's what they promised. They sold their souls to the devil, if you should say. And it's evil. So it's evil stuff out there. And it's coming in the form of how they dress, bizarro makeup, what they're proclaiming, what they're showing us. It might come in the form of a film, a movie, a dance, a song. So pay attention. When you allow that into your life, have discernment. When you allow that into your life, what are you saying that you're all about? Now, I choose not to engage with that, because I sense that there's a lot of negativity related to that, and it's evil. There's a frequency there, there's a vibration there that is evil. So just pay attention to that. Oh, Bob Harding, here you are. I received my Reiki placement and had an amazing experience each day since. Well, wonderful. Congratulations. That's great. When you say placement, are you receiving Reiki? So Reiki, if anyone doesn't know, is energy healing. And I do Reiki as well. And it comes from a place, it's all goodness, and it's related to your chakras that run through your body and the ones outside of your body, the 7 in and the 5 outside of your body. We speak of them. They come from your crown chakra and upwards every 12 inches. And then 12 inches below your feet is your earth chakra. So Bob Harding, what kind of placement did you get? What do you mean by that? Do you mean that you had a practitioner give you some Reiki treatment? That's wonderful if you did. And we also speak of our thoughts. If you could imagine your thoughts, if someone connected you to some kind of machine and then you would pick up a piece of paper and it would say your thoughts on the paper, what are you thinking about? I have to tell you that today I kind of I went down in a little bit of a ditch myself. I started to feel sorry for myself. You ever feel sorry for yourself? We all go through that. I felt sorry for myself because I was sick all last week. And then yesterday I had food poisoning, and it kind of gets a little depressing. And I'm trying to lift myself up. And so were my thoughts all these wonderful thoughts if a machine was connected to me? Probably not. I would say I was like, oh, poor me, poor me. And so I have to go back to, I've got to pick myself up and dust myself off and keep going. Because what's the alternative? And you know what? I think it's okay to have moments like that, because that might be a way for you to expand yourself. Because when that happens, all of a sudden I say, oh my gosh, I'm going to go harder and faster and never give up. And that's probably how it's going to be for me when I wake up. And I'm also here with you. And it makes me happy to be here and be doing this live video, because I sense that we're kind of coming all from the same place. And we're supportive of each other, and I'm supportive. You're a worthy being of light. You're highly advanced. You have amazing characteristics and abilities. And the further that we go along this path, we each have a mission. We each have a purpose. The further we go along this path with, I guess, optimism, the better it's going to be. So the dreams, your thoughts and intentions. Here we go. Did you have a good intention today? What your intention, a good intention, is a commitment to do our best. Yes, Bob Harding. Harding, I had healing and I am becoming a practitioner. Congratulations. Good for you. When I began along the path of becoming a Reiki master, I started to have more impressions, more psychic phenomenon occur, visions. I would close my eyes and I saw light when my eyes were closed. So you might receive those kinds of impressions as well, Bob Harding. And I receive more light within me. When I receive light now, these light codes, it feels as though my body is getting a little bit warmer, and it's taking on some kind of, I guess you could say, it's like a vibration in my legs, and also I feel as though there's more energy coming into me. That's one way to describe it. So be aware of that. We spoke about light codes the other day, and we're going to get into Escape the Matrix. Maybe I'll share with you after that. I'll share with you a few of my light codes that I received from those extraterrestrials. And did I have any of those over the weekend? I was resting so much. Last night I slept 10 hours, so everything seems a little bit blurry to me. So have patience with me, please. I need some patience. I don't have much patience myself. Please give me some patience, everyone. Hey, Craig. Hi, guys. I've never had Reiki, but I'm curious. It's wonderful. It helps balances you. It helps balance your chakras. your wheels of energy throughout your body, and it is healing. It's very healing if you have any blockages. So it will unblock you. We'll get into chakras another day. So let's get into escape the matrix. Wow, wow. I've been saying the matrix so much lately, haven't I? I'm just can't wait for us to get out of the matrix. So have you escaped? Have you left? Have you climbed out? Have you peeked over? Have you just said, puff, it's gone? It's a mindset for sure, the matrix. It's a way that we live. It's our belief system. It's how we do everything in our world, in our physical reality. And I'm hoping, and I bet you are too, that we kind of escape the matrix for good. And I'm there every day. I'm in the matrix, in my job in the matrix, because I have to pay my bills. And I'm hoping that there's going to be this big event really soon. Like there's going to be a divine event, or there's going to be the solar flash, which is a blinding white light, and it covers the globe, the earth, and all of our electronics, all of our, I guess you could say, the satellites, the cell towers, our phones, our computers, everything's done for. And as well as our cars and any machinery. And what will take its place? Something that's more advanced. Because everything really has to crumble and completely disintegrate, be exterminated, before this new civilization comes completely into play. And that's the same as our financial system. I've been reading about this quantum financial system, and I'm wondering, when exactly is that going to come into play? And is all of this going to happen at once? And we're going to get into these earthquakes, which I'm wondering what's going on with all the earthquakes. And I didn't realize there were so many, and the weather balloons and HAARP. So escape the matrix, a central system you choose to be part of. We can break loose from it. We can get free. We can leave it. And how do we do that? Well, we can avoid unwanted outcome. From you, your fixed mental attitude and mindset. The matrix is the keeper of our beliefs and ideas, and it can no longer trap you if you escape. And I'm ready to escape, fully escape. And maybe that's why I'm feeling kind of down in the dumps, because I'm just tired of the whole system. I'm just tired of the rat race and all the control, and it's very dense and depressing. And I want this beautiful civilization, heaven on earth. I want it to come, and I want to see all these angels and fresh air to come into my life more, and spend more time outside. I'm tired of being inside all day, and the sun is shining outside. We had these very peculiar environmental shifts this weekend. We had it go down to 2 degrees, 6 degrees, and it was very cold. And then today it was up in the 40s. I think it almost hit 50 degrees. It's a little strange, isn't it? What is that from? What's going on? Now, those out there in the matrix might say, that's climate change. And I'll say, no, it's not climate change. It's something else. Maybe it's HAARP. I'm not sure. We'll explain what HAARP is. But my point is, I'm really, really anticipating these events to come. And I bet you are too. And our mindset should be that we are headed in a direction of light and peace, heaven on earth. All of us will come together, the ascended masters and angels, those celestial beings. And I'm going to get into, as well as, the second coming of Jesus Christ. And what exactly is that? The rapture. Because it's the return of Christ to remove all believers before God's wrath. So let's get back on to escaping from the matrix. So we're going to drop out of fear. We're going to just let go of fear. And I know this seems very difficult because, like I said, today I had a rough patch. Today I had a rough day because I'd been sick all last week. And then yesterday I had food poisoning. And so today was a very difficult day for me. And so now I'm trying to kind of get out of it. And I'm going to remind you, when we spoke about frequency and vibration and the and emotions and what you vibrate on, if you're on shame and fear, it's at 20. Shame and fear, you're at 20. If you're at joy and love, it's 1,000. I know that sounds like, how am I going to stay there? Keep trying, keep trying. Don't give up. Do not give up. When I say be in love, go to your heart. Let's try it together right now. Go to your heart and be in love. And how do you be in love? Well, you can turn inward and you can imagine the love you have for someone. And that helps you bring up your feelings of love, your emotions of love. And let's go to that for a moment. Choose someone in your life that you love. And imagine being with that person. Imagine the love that you have for that person. Now, I have a number of people I have love for, so this is kind of easy for me. But you don't need many. Just choose one. Just be in love. And your heart will kind of brim a little bit more with light. And you'll gain some kind of happiness. Anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. So there's fear and loneliness and shame and anger and pain. And we're going to release all of these. That's the mindset of the Matrix. There's always a villain in the Matrix. In every fairy tale, you notice that there's always a villain. They always say, well, you have to have that. That's the plot. Maybe not. Maybe we don't have a villain. I believe in this new civilization that we're stepping into. We just take a step into it. And I've spoken about a portal, walking through this portal of light. It's a new beginning. Maybe you don't even have to walk through a portal. Maybe we can just breathe in right in this moment, this new reality, this new civilization. And we're going to imagine it right here and right now, because we are escaping the Matrix. So let's imagine the world that you would like to live in right here before us. So imagine it's right in front of you. So right in front of me, I have my computer. And I have my space. I'm going to imagine right here in front of me this beautiful world that I'd like to step into. And I'm hoping that you can join me doing this, because this is a little exercise, because you know what? Our thoughts are that powerful. That's how we create psychic phenomenon and how we receive telepathic messages, is because every single thought carries a vibration. It carries a charged impulse, its feelings, its emotions. So I'd like you to imagine right in front of you, before you, a beautiful existence. Now, what is in this existence? How about we close our eyes together and we imagine this beautiful existence? We're going to close our eyes. I'm closing my eyes. So I'm going to imagine, and let's go down the road with this. And if you want to share anything, any input, write in the chat and tell me exactly what you're seeing. So I'm imagining right before me this beautiful world. And what is this world? Well, of course, it's going to be nature. I see the greenest of grass. It's very, very green grass. It's a huge meadow before me. It's hilly, in fact. There's many, many trees. I see in the distance, I see mountains, beautiful mountains. I see the sun beaming down. And I see people. I see other beings of light, and they're walking around, and they're holding hands, and they have smiles on their face, and they look like they're coming from a place of joy. And I also see before me, in this beautiful world, and everything is heightened. All of the energy related to all of the nature is heightened. So I can feel it. I can feel the vibration of every single piece of nature. And it's powerful. And I can see to the right, I can see a body of water, and I can see glistening little waves across this water, this pool of water. And I'm getting from this, I'm just getting pure peace. I'm getting pure peace from this vision before me. And so if you can go to a place of peace, and you can go to a place of love in our heart, like I mentioned a bit ago, you go to a place of who you feel love for, and you imagine that and have that within your heart, you can raise your vibration instantly. And if you remind yourself to do that whenever you're in a place of fear, loneliness, shame, pain, anger, you can begin to release the old paradigm, all the old patterns that are holding you back from exploring your truth. Because your truth is going to take you to this new civilization. Your truth is going to bring personal happiness and serenity. And your truth is also going to create this new civilization. It's pretty exciting. So society reigns over you in the matrix, and it limits our lives. Each of us has a purpose and a mission during our time on earth. And as you begin to become accustomed to unconditional love within yourself, you'll realize that you're a highly advanced being of light. Hey, MR, what does this say? If negative beliefs and thoughts cause low vibration, can... Hold on, I'm trying to read this. Sorry about that. Marion, if negative beliefs and thoughts cause low vibrations, can Reiki override negative beliefs permanently by changing them? Well, Reiki can definitely help with that. Reiki can clear away blockages and unblock you, and it can take away negative energy. Is it permanent? Hey, who's that? Chanley. Hello, how are you? Are you new? I don't know if I've ever met either. I know MR's been here. MR, where are you coming from? I'm in New York. Everyone who's here, I'm so appreciative you're here. I have gratitude for this moment. I appreciate it. We're building a community together. Cheney, I don't think I ever heard of you before. Where are you coming from? Hi, I'm in New York. Where are you coming from? Okay, so you are beginning to become accustomed to unconditional love within your highly advanced being. You're a beautiful being of light. I'm here for you. I cherish you. I want to remind you that you're cherished and loved. Oh, Shaylee. Shaylee, that's how you pronounce it, Shaylee? Shaylee. Oh, you're in Utah? Hi. Thank you. That's a painting that I did. I appreciate that, Shaylee. How did you find me? Find us. Yes, so this is, wolves are very powerful. If you sense that you have any kind of negativity in your home, you cut out a picture of, or print out a picture of a wolf, put it in your bedroom or wherever you sense that you have some kind of negativity. And you love wolves too. Interesting. And I always had, a cardinal. I always sensed that cardinals were very validating for me. It's funny, whenever I would be driving down the street and it would be something that would be crossing my mind that I questioned, I would see, not every time, but some of the more important moments, a cardinal would just swoop down in front of my car. It was very strange. And I'd say, oh, I've been validated. So I thought that was important to put in the painting, as well as butterflies, because I used to call myself Blue Butterfly a while back. I don't think you can see the butterflies because they're up too high, but there's butterflies as well. And then there's two angels, and there's a bear, and then there's 3 spirits over there. You can see. Can you see the painting? So I appreciate that, Shaylee. It's very beautiful, and you did a fabulous job. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Okay, so don't limit your potential. That's what we're here to say today. Don't limit your potential. You have so much within you. When we come from a place of gratitude, unconditional love, and we have some stillness. Today I did some meditation because I said, oh my gosh, I'm really hitting rock bottom here. I need to kind of lift myself up. And did it help? I believe it helped me. Oh, you can see one butterfly. Okay. Yeah, there's a monarch butterfly and then there's a blue butterfly. And I realized that if I did some meditation and I went and I had some quiet within me, maybe everything would just stand still for a moment and I could see clearer. When everything's rushing around us, it's very difficult to see clearly. It's very difficult to see clearly what people have as their intention. It's very difficult to see what our focus should be. And when everything's rushing around, we get so exhausted because of all of the energies, emotionally, physically, mentally. And just having a job in the matrix is tiring, isn't it? It's very tiring having a job in the matrix. So we're going to stop being trapped in the matrix. And how are we going to do that? I'm going to share with you. How are we going to be stopped from being trapped in the matrix? Okay, number one, here we go. Anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. And then everyone else can find us. Okay, one, we're going to let go. We're going to let go and detach what people think about us. We are not going to care anymore, not a speck about what others think about us, because that takes up a lot of room in our heads, doesn't it? Imagine how much energy you spend on what do people think about me? How do people, what are the stories they're saying about me? Who cares? Who cares what people think? It's your journey. It's all about you. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks about you. Those people are limiting you, because how do they know what you should be doing? What difference does it make what they think about you? It's not their journey. It's not their life. And why are people saying anything about you to begin with? We should only be saying positive things about each other. And so that's all their junk, not yours. So let go of what other people think about you. That's number one. Let's let go of that. Whether it's your friends, your family, maybe it's your parents, maybe it's your teachers, whoever it is. Who cares what they think about you? So we're letting go. I am Brooklyn Paranormal. Hey, how are you guys? Geez, Mom, wow, it's crowds tonight. I'm so glad everyone's here. Brooklyn Paranormal. How are you guys doing? Thanks for joining us. I'm just talking about leaving the matrix. Yeah, and Geez, Mom. Hello, Geez, Mom. I know you're on here, Geez, Mom. You're coming from, I know Brooklyn Paranormal's coming from Brooklyn. Did you ever tell me, Geez, Mom, where you're coming from? Brooklyn Paranormal. I'm good. Wait, what does this say? James. Brooklyn Paranormal. James is coming by this Saturday. Remind me of our investigation. Yes, I remember our investigations, Brooklyn Paranormal. Yes, that's right. We went on investigations together and we did events in Brooklyn. And that was very exciting for me. I loved doing those events. And let's see, I remember we did one event that was by a lake, and then someone else interviewed me about that along a lake in Long Island that had a ghost. And there was events in Brooklyn that I did with Brooklyn Paranormal, and I was the psychic, and that was fun and interesting, and I appreciate that. So thanks for that experience. In fact, this weekend, I don't know if anyone saw that I did an interview with a channeler. You can find it. And it was very exciting for me. And I'll tell you what happened. I'll just step out of the conversation about the Matrix for 1 second. So it was with Athena in Truth. And the interview, you can find it on YouTube. It's been up since Saturday. And Athena in Truth. And she's a channeler, and her sister interviewed us. Her name's Robin, and she's also has a consciousness called Athena. And so this I guess you could say entities, it's a bunch of entities, come in and out. So we're having a conversation, and then they take over her body and interject information. And it was very I guess you could say supernatural. And they share wisdom and knowledge, and they even interjected and gave me some kind of, I guess, advice. And then afterwards, when we weren't even being taped, they gave more advice to me. But when I had that experience, something changed within me. And that night, I started receiving more telepathic impressions, but they didn't come in the form as they normally do, the impressions. They came in a form, these impressions came through, and it was not only a flash of information, but it was the emotion and feeling, and everything came with it. It was very strange. And I think because I was sick in the last 24 hours, I haven't been able to experience any more of that. But I sense that it's going to continue to happen. In fact, my telepathic skill set seems to have increased. Oh, hey, Bob Harding. I watched your interview. I left a long-winded comment on her channel. You did? No, you didn't, Bob Harding. What was it? Tell me. Share with me. Who keeps the light keeps going 5 6 5 6 5 6? Who's doing that? It's pretty funny. What is that? Is that a spirit? Oh, now it went back to 5, then it's going back to 6. Very yeah, so you can watch that. It's an Athena in Truth, and she's lovely. Up back to 5 and 6. You guys, whoever's doing that, you're very funny, whoever's doing that. Up there at 6 again. Now it's going to go to 5. And it was an exciting experience. I do have another interview coming up this weekend with an angelic channeler, and she's coming on my channel. She'll be on this channel or on Saturday. I don't know if it's going to be live or it's going to be uploaded, but it's with Jilly Clark. So look for that. Okay, back to the matrix. Now, number 1 was let go of all of your beliefs, detach what people think about you. Who cares? Let it go. Who cares what people think about you? And 2, you choose what your reality is. What are you going to be programmed with? Now, since we were a kid, we've had all of this information that's been drilled into us, constantly drilled into us, hasn't it? It's all about we should go to a job 9 to 5. We should be eating 3 meals a day. We should be sleeping in a bed. Why shouldn't we be out and like camping in nature every day? Who made up all these rules? We're going to create our own reality. So to get out of the matrix, you have to start to change your belief system. Now, am I going to share with you what exact belief system? No. Your belief system is going to be created by you within your vessel. Your spirit and your heart have all the answers. We don't have to look to an outside source. How many of your beliefs and your ideas are from you? And how many is someone told you or you watched on a television program? Everything you believe is from what? A film, a movie, school? Make up your own belief system. 3, identify limiting beliefs. It's the same as what I just said. Whether it's 9 to 5, money, relationships. Now, I said to you that I have this limited belief related to money, and I have to let that go. And it's really sticking on me. And that's because I grew up with it. I grew up with a certain belief system related to my family and those around me. You know, I guess some of it might fall under you have to work, 50 years before you're going to have any money. And, and maybe it's that I'll never be a millionaire. Maybe it will be you have to work really hard and maybe you'll never get anywhere. I don't know. Whatever I have my limited beliefs about money. I don't know if you do as well. And it's difficult to break that. It's definitely difficult to break belief systems that you have. I'm not telling you that it's easy. Now, one way that I heard about breaking a belief system is to get a piece of paper and write it down. So I'm going to write my belief system that I want to get rid of and destroy. I want to destroy this belief system related to money. So the belief system related to money is, I know what it is. I won't have any. Now, what's so crazy is when I was a kid, I worked in New York City and I was making quite a bit of money. But for some reason, I have this belief system that I'll never have any. I don't know what that's coming from. So I've got to break that. Hey, geez, Mom, sure do. So we all have to break that because we are going to bring abundance into our lives. We are bringing abundance, currency, money, cash into our lives. That's what we're going to do. We're going to break all those belief systems. So I'm going to look down at my belief system, which is I won't have any money. How am I going to? Well, I'm going to try to figure out where exactly I heard that to begin with. Now, maybe I'm not going to figure that all out right now during this broadcast, but I'm going to sure as heck do it when I get off because I realize that this is an issue for me. Number 4, you can decide where you live. What is the perfect place for you? If you could choose any place to live on the globe, where would it be? That's your decision. No one else should decide that. That's yours because we are escaping from the matrix. Okay. And there's only 6 of them, so we're almost done. Number 5, take control over your health, your sleep, meditating, and foods. So take control over your health. Watch out what you're eating. Watch out how much sleep you get at night. Be aware of this because you want to live as long as possible. We are all going to be survivors of 2023. We've been survivors of 2022. We're going to be survivors of 2023. That's right. I mean, there's a lot of that suddenly died lately, and these blood clots and these heart attacks and these strokes. Just some weird stuff's going on out there. We're going to get into the weird stuff in just a minute. And number 6, stay away from, this is a big one, negative people. So if you come across those people out there and they're just super negative, like, oh my gosh, everything's terrible. My life, everything bad happens to me. Oh, that's awful. Stay away from those people because that's low vibration. That's a 20. They're living in fear. Now, we spoke about the biggest fear that there is. It's not snakes. It's not mice. It's not insects, spiders. It's not heights, fear of heights. Guess what it is? It's fear of death. Most people have a fear of dying. Let's not be fearful. Let's be fearless. So let's remind ourselves of our mantra. Now, you can make up some of your own mantras. For example, I'm strong, I'm brave, I'm courageous. I'm strong, I'm brave, I'm courageous. You can make up your own. I am safe. Whatever it is, I am is the first 2 words. I am strong, I am brave, I'm courageous, I'm safe. Whatever it is you want it to be. Nice dream. Yes, that's exactly it. In my world, abundance does not involve money. Okay. Eat as. Oh, hey, music, you're here. Hi, music. I haven't seen you around in a while. How are you? So glad you're here, music. Music. Let's see. It's from Canada. Hi, music. Thanks for joining us. Wow, it's a real nice group here today. Let's see. We have, you guys are awesome. Bob Harding, MR, Shaylee. We have Brooklyn Paranormal, G's Mom, music. You guys are awesome. Thanks for joining us today. All right, so we kind of covered that, how to escape the matrix. There are some suggestions I gave you. We want to get away from fear and loneliness. And I know it sounds, I'm making it sound like, oh, that's so easy. It's not easy. It's not easy because even if we have one step into the 5th dimension timeline, we still have the other foot or the other leg in the 3rd dimension timeline, which is the matrix, the simulation, the illusion, the physical reality that we've all known. And it's very dense. It's very depressing. Like I said, there's a villain. There's a lot of sinister, nefarious actions going on, lawlessness, and evil. And in that matrix, 50% of those out there are line plus. So be aware of that. So we are going to a place of light and love. All right, so we're going to get on to earthquakes and weather balloons and HAARP. And before we get on to that, I think it's an okay time because the weather balloon story and the HAARP is going to take a little bit of time because I found out a bunch of research related to that. I want to just mention the rapture. We're speaking about the end of days now. We're speaking about the apocalypse, and there's signs and symbols, and we do, and I'm going to get into it because of the earthquakes and the weather balloons. So the rapture, is the rapture, which is one event, and the second coming of Christ happening as well. Now, the rapture is the return of Christ to remove all the believers before God's wrath. Now, the Bible says that the end of time, these events, Jesus visits the earth. And the second coming is the return of Christ to bring the end. And basically, it's the defeat and to defeat the Antichrist. So it looks like that's where we're headed right now, because there's some strange goings on. I mean, remember back months ago how all the animals were running in a circle? And then most recently, we saw this very enormous, over Turkey, go question that, this very enormous, it was a reddish cloud, and it looked like it had kind of a vortex in the middle of it. There was a middle part that kind of went inward, a circle, and it was this enormous reddish orange cloud over Turkey. I wish I had a picture of it. All you have to do is look it up online. It's very strange. And so there's some signs here, and we've spoken about it. There are these signs about kind of the spiritual war we've been going through with good and evil, and you can see a very strong divide. And those out there that are just wearing just very satanic clothing, and they're pronouncing very dastardly and evil actions towards others. And we're also finding out that there's some kind of, it seems as though there's some kind of end to the banking system on its way, and this one world government. There's a lot out there that's very peculiar right now, which seems to be signs. And I've been receiving some kind of signs myself, whether it's been in my dreams or I've had visions. And I know that there's been angels coming down from the heavens to fight for humanity. And I'm just going to bring up angels, which are celestial beings of light, and they come from the heavens to earth to protect humanity. And they show themselves, we believe them through fine arts, that they have wings and halos. Now, maybe you see an angel, like a little bit of a spark of light in your corner of your eye, or maybe you sense a whisper in your ear, a warning that a dire event is about to take place, and they're warning you to be aware or be careful or step out of the way. Because angels are messengers, they are guides, they're warriors. They're warriors for God, and they come and they ascend and descend from the heavens. Now, here's some signs that maybe you've encountered some angels. So there's signs: voices, numbers, scents, phone calls, pennies, bells ringing, music, dreams, sparks of light. So just be aware of that. And I believe that for the rapture and the second coming of Jesus Christ, number one, he will come for the believers, and he will catch them in the air, living and dead, secretly. Jesus Christ will meet with the living and the dead secretly, and non-believers will be unaware, and many people will leave the earth. And this will come and then after 7 years of suffering, Christ will return to the earth, victorious over his enemies, and will reign on earth for 1,000 years. This is what they say. Now, the wicked, dead, non-living believers will be judged. So that's what they say the rapture is, in the coming of Jesus Christ. Now, I'm just reading this from the Bible. This is just what's been said in the past. Now, we don't know what's going to happen, but it just sure as heck feels like there's some divine events about to take place. Now, the wicked, dead, non-believers will be judged. So there'll be signs out there. People will claim to have answers. There'll be false prophets, seek deeper knowledge to end suffering. There'll be wars. Now, we have already been encountering some of this, haven't we? Hey, music, the second coming, so bright, I think. second coming is the emergence of Christ consciousness. Yes, I agree with you. I believe right now we are undergoing some of what I'm referring to. So there will be wars, talks of conflicts, race wars, battles. There will be also devastation, famine, earthquakes, which we're having earthquakes, spreads of diseases unable to control. And then lastly, the deliverance, attacks on faith. And that's what we're going through right now. We're going through this attack on faith, the spiritual war, which is between good and evil. And evil has been the matrix. Evil has been the, I guess, those that have reigned power over us, the elite cabal, the black hats, the bloodlines, the Illuminati, the secret societies, the Freemasons, the K Mafia, the deep state. All of those have been spending their days controlling and programming humanity. And they've been harvesting our energy, and they've been controlling us and programming us, and they've evoked fear within us. They've brought fear into us so that they can control us. And we've been living in a fear-based society. So I do sense that all of that is about to change. And hey, Anastasia. We're getting on to earthquakes right now, Anastasia, so I'm going to share with you. Now, in the last few days, we've had some very strange earthquakes. So the surface, an earthquake is when the surface is shaking from a sudden release of energy in the Earth's lithosphere, and that creates seismic waves. So the Earth ranges intensity and shaking and displacing or disruption on the Earth, on the ground. So we encountered on February 6th, a few days ago, today's the 7th, a earthquake in Turkey, which happens to be in the same location that there was that enormous orange reddish cloud. Now, it wasn't over that exact location. However, it was in Turkey as well, which is a little bit strange. What was that? Now, I didn't realize this, but there's been 62 earthquakes recently. 62 earthquakes in the last day. In the last few days, there's been 62 earthquakes. So in Turkey, it was the magnitude was 7.8 in Turkey. It was a very enormous earthquake, which was actually one of the largest earthquakes since one of the 6 largest earthquakes since 1970 happened on the 6th, happened yesterday in Turkey. Now, so far they've said that it killed 7,200 people in Turkey and Syria. And I'll list some of these earthquakes in the last day. Here we go. Surprisingly, there was the one 6.8 in Godson, Turkey, because there was 2 in Turkey that day. 3.8 in West Sanoka, New York. So when I'm saying the number, that's the magnitude. So 6.0 in Turkey, a 3.8 in West Seneca, New York, a 6.0 in Maladey, Turkey, a 7.5 in another location in Turkey, a 6.7 in another location in Turkey, and a 7.8 in another location in Turkey. So Turkey had these earthquakes in the last day. There's been 125 earthquakes in the past 24 hours, 887 earthquakes in the past 7 days. Now, obviously, those earthquakes aren't the same magnitude as the one in Turkey and Syria. However, it's very strange that all these earthquakes. So some seismic waves rippled through Europe, even UK yesterday. Only 3 other earthquakes since 1970 was as large as this earthquake in Turkey. Now, there's not only that strange going on, but then there was this weather balloon. And here's a picture of what the weather balloon looked like. So here was this weather balloon that came from China. So a weather balloon carries instruments. Normally, this is what a weather balloon. Normally, a weather balloon carries instruments to send information on atmospheric pressure, temperature, humidity, and wind speed. So the US government shot down this weather balloon that was traveling from China, and they shot it down over the waters of South Carolina, the coastal waters of South Carolina. Now, it was at 60,000 feet. They shot it down at 3 p.m. yesterday. Okay. So China claims, no, not yesterday. I apologize. I think it was Friday. I apologize. It wasn't yesterday. So China claims this was for weather research. Now, the strange thing, I don't know if you know anything about weather balloons. I didn't. So weather balloons are usually, you open them up, they're 6 feet big, and then they open up to 20 feet. 20 feet. This weather balloon that was traveling from China was the size of 3 buses. That's how large it was. So was it really a weather balloon? Now, the U.S. tracked it since last Tuesday, and then they shot it down, I believe it was Friday or Saturday. And like I said, an average weather balloon is 6 foot wide, and then it's 20 feet as it rises. So I don't know what that was all about. That's very strange. There are those out there that believe that this was a distraction. This was put out there to distract. I don't know. You know, it's just some strange, I'm just sharing some strange going-ons, right? Now, moving on. I don't know if anyone's heard of this HAARP. Now, this might give us some information related to, here we go, more weather information. This might have something to do with what's going on with these earthquakes. Do you know what HAARP is? So if you can see from this picture, these are antennas, and these antennas are 70 feet high, I believe. Let me see. These antennas reach 72 feet high in the sky. Now, this is in Alaska. This is called HAARP. This was a $290 million project done by the U.S. Air Force, and it's an ionospheric heater. So it's high, HAARP, High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. And what that is it's located in Alaska. It has 360 radio transmitters, 180 antennas, and 5 generators. And each antenna is 72 feet high in the sky. What is this exactly? And you know what? The U.S. Air Force, what's going on with this? So it's a strange phenomenon. It's about weather, frequencies of earthquakes, chemtrails. Is HAARP manipulating the weather? Have they been manipulating the weather? Radio waves, damage to the environment, and focusing the energy from the field into a specific spot in the atmosphere. Are they creating changes in our weather and damage to our environment? So, and also the question is, can this HAARP create mind control, manipulating people's moods, emotions, and control the masses? You know, we know about Nikola Tesla and how Nikola Tesla had created the death beam ray and some of these frequency machines, and none of his patents were shared. None of everything that he did was worth nothing. I don't believe that. I believe they use them. Some think that some earthquakes are underground nukes using ongoing conflict in parts of the inner earth. Interesting to consider. I also heard that the earthquakes might have been the black hats blowing up DUMBs, those tunnels under the ground. Allegedly, I'm a truth seeker, not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a rebel. And so now, I don't know if anyone's heard of Edward Snowden, and he was a whistleblower. And then he had to leave town. Was it in Washington? Where was he? He had shared information, and he shared leaked classified documents in 2013. And he revealed in 2013 that HAARP was a global surveillance system. So he revealed that in 2013, that HAARP, this structure, okay, the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. So has HAARP created these earthquakes that are in Texas? Or has HAARP created some kind of mass mind manipulation? So he revealed that HAARP's global surveillance system, natural geometric waves are being replaced with ground waves, matching human brain waves, influencing human behavior. Also, the towers, all the cell towers are electrical stimulation conductors. That's a little that's a little bit disarming, disturbing, I should say. Very disturbing. Now, there's a Yale professor, Jose Delgado, and he said he was the pioneer of the mind control, and he says it is possible to control human movement, glandular functions, and mental manifestations. Okay, well, let's be aware of that. So what is HAARP doing? And why is the government always supposed to cheat us of health and wellness? What's going on with that? We all want to live a very long time. I feel like it's getting cut off at the legs all the time. I want to live till I'm 104. Everyone who knows me knows that. Okay, so our last topic, because we're going to get onto psychic phenomenon, is psychic phenomenon. And what is psychic phenomenon? Well, psychic phenomenon contradicts physical laws, and it's a way of communicating outside the norms, outside of verbal communication or texting or writing in a computer and sending an email or calling on the phone. Psychic phenomenon is receiving information from an outside source, and it's another means than the way we normally go about it. Anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. And we've spoken about it quite a bit, and we're going to get into some psychic phenomenon. We're going to do some psychic exercises today because we need the practice. We need that practice, don't we? Oh, you know what? I'm just going to remind you before we get into that, I'm just going to share with you one of what I received from the extraterrestrials. Let's see. I'm going back to 2021. I shared a few with you, and now I'm going to share some more. Okay, so just bear with me. Hey, Bob Harding, you might like reading about the voice of, what does that say? Allah, something weapon? Okay, now, here we go. All right, so this was a very interesting one. I received here, oh, now I'm dropping my papers again, that's okay. All right, so this was December 23rd. You can see right there, there's my diagram. I always do like a little diagram when I'm half awake. And so what happened here was everything was lit up. So there was all this light coming, but then I saw little extraterrestrial faces here. I saw their little spaceships. So basically what happens is I close my eyes. I'm either waking up or going to sleep. And I just close my eyes. It's just one second after I've laid down to go to sleep, and I start to feel like lights coming into my system, or it will wake me up in the middle of the night, which is also possible. And in this particular moment, I started seeing, it says, I saw legions of spaceships, aliens, and they were all moving. So it's not like it's a picture where it's flat. Like when I hold this up, it's flat. When I have this happen, it's dimensional. It's 5-dimensional grid. So it looked like a lot of lines going across, and then all of these little beings and spaceships were moving across the space in my view. So that was one thing. That was December 23rd. And why am I sharing this with you? because maybe it will happen to you. Maybe you'll have something similar that I am having. And I say that I'm a light worker and a star seed, and maybe you are as well. Okay, and then this particular time, this was Monday. So how many days apart was this? So that was 4 days later. I just saw sparks of light, and they were just traveling down. Puff, 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 puff. And let's see, what else? And then I'm going to share with you the psychic phenomenon. Let's see. There's quite a few of these. Very strange. But I mean, I guess I got used to it. I kind of got used to all of this. Very strong came through was this gray alien. And he had humongous green eyes. And I always thought, oh, when you see one alien, you've seen them all. However, when you see these different extraterrestrials, even the same species, so let's imagine the gray, if everyone knows what the gray alien looks like. It's kind of what we were shown throughout films and movies, and usually they were a threat. But these gray aliens that came in contact with me telepathically were sending me messages that were benevolent. And so I'm assuming that they're small, but maybe in real life they're not. Just enormous eyes, tiny nose, tiny mouth, tiny ears, big head, and then a skinny body. And that's what I received. So, and then I've just seen, so I wrote here, you came off scary. That's what I said. And then I kind of tried to send I tried to send info back. I even drew this one of him. I imagine it was a masculine, because he seemed masculine energy. He visited me again. He visited me a bunch of times. So I didn't know if maybe I had some kind of connection to this one particular alien, this extraterrestrial. But anyway, it's very interesting. And I grew to enjoy receiving these telepathic light codes, which are ancient healing codes. And as you ascend and you spend more time in love and light, you will start to experience very, I guess you could say, supernatural encounters. And these are my personal experiences. It doesn't mean that you're going to have the exact same experience that I have. But I guess if I'm talking about it, you might become comfortable if it happens to you, and you might be accepting. And after time, after it goes on for over a year, it just seems normal. I know it might not seem normal to you because you say, oh, that sounds a little kooky. However, if you pay attention, even in the news right now, even in the mainstream media, the predictive programming and the paid programming, they're speaking about UFOs, and they're admitting that there's UFOs out there. It's not just me. And who do you think's flying the spaceship? All right, back to psychic phenomenon, telepathy. So telepathy, we're going to go through each of the main psychic phenomenon, and then we're going to do one of these exercises together. So telepathy, which we've spoken of over and over again, is mind reading. It's mind to mind. It's receiving information from a distance. So it's not as though, on average, you're not sitting right with the person. They're sending you the information. So it would be as though, like over the weekend, I mentioned that after I did this channeling interview, something shifted inside of me, and it advanced me. And not only when I received information, I used to just see a flash of information. Now I'm receiving energy with it, emotion, feeling, and it seems almost like power, like it's going to kick me in the ass. It's very hard to describe unless you experience it. So telepathy is mind reading, direct mental communication between two people. Now, you might already be experiencing telepathy if you think of one of your friends or family members and then they call you or contact you, and vice versa. It might be either way. You're receiving it or they're receiving it, and then they contact you. That's considered telepathy. Clairvoyance, second sight, which is our third eye. Our mind's eye is activated. It's open. How do you open it? You can open it through meditation. You can open it, maybe you take a gemstone and you just consider, think about this gemstone on your third eye. Maybe you visualize it. You close your eyes and you imagine light and you imagine this to be a doorway to another realm. Now, ask and you shall receive. The more that you accept all of this psychic phenomenon, the more that it will happen to you. If you sit around doubting it and say, it's never going to happen to me, or that's impossible, it won't. You have to accept it. And the more you accept it, the more that it will come into your life, into your awareness, and it will definitely change you because you will see things. You'll be much more of an observer. You might be able to predict events before they happen. You might very well save yourself from some injury, or you might receive directions on a path to go for an opportunity. And I'm going to trust that my intuition is going to, and my psychic phenomenon, my clairvoyance is going to take me to monetary abundance. That's what I want, monetary abundance. And then I won't have to work in that job in the matrix anymore. Now, precognizance. Clairvoyance is also perception of an event or an object that is not involved in the known senses. Like someone's not telling you, you're just receiving the information. So precognition is perceiving of future events that will take place without existing knowledge. No one's sharing. None of what I'm explaining to you is given to you by a person. It's just you're receiving it. Like I'm sitting here and information's coming to me. You're sitting wherever you are, or you're in a situation, you're in a circumstance, and information just flashes before you. Now, maybe you'll see it in your third eye. Maybe you'll hear it. Maybe you'll feel it. Maybe you'll close your eyes and it will come to you. Just be open to it. It's exciting. Psychokinesis is the mind's power to affect change in an external matter. So you can leap downwards to learn mystical knowledge. So basically, we have the ability, like I say, to change outcomes. And you may do that through your thoughts. You may do that through your thoughts, words, and actions. You can change an outcome. And you can do that because your thoughts are that powerful. They carry a charged impulse. And if you sit here and you think, it's not going to go well, it's not going to go well, it's not going to go well, you're changing the outcome. If you think, that's very possible. I see the end. I see everything's going to work out for me. I see a pile of money. Whatever it is that you deem important, you can change the outcome. You can change the outcome. It's possible. Now, if you're all cluttered up inside, if you haven't tuned inward and you haven't cleared yourself of all of your trauma and all of your triggers and all of your issues, it's going to be mighty difficult to change outcomes because you're not clear and you might be also living in a place of negativity. We want to embrace all of ourselves. This is a suggestion. All of us have had shame for certain events and things that have happened to us, maybe something we've done and we feel guilty about it, or we are ashamed of something. We must go to whatever it is and embrace it. So we unblock our truest potential. When you are clear, when you're accepting, when you love yourself, you can land on your path, your journey, and it can take you to every single desire you ever wished for. Okay, so our intuition is our inner voice. It's a warning, it's a signal, and that requires the person to rethink a course of action. You might sense as though this feeling will disappear like this, and it does. It's just like when we were, sorry, I have to be jumping off. Thanks, MR. Thanks for joining us. I'm glad you made it tonight. Thank you. I know I wrote you down here, MR. I don't know if I know where you're coming from. Did I write? Nope, you never told me. When we are receiving information, usually it comes and it might be a second to 2 seconds long. And if we don't write it down, or we start to, I guess, filter it, and we start to break it down and we start to doubt it, it disappears. The moment that you receive something into your intuition, pay attention, try to write it down, try to keep a note of it, because it's going to just disappear. And you're going to say, oh, that was just my imagination. But it wasn't. It was something real. It was a quality of this impression that you're supposed to hold on to. There was something there for you. Because if you're receiving an impression, it's meant for you. It's some kind of signal, a sign, a truth. It's a bit of knowledge. It's wisdom just for you. So clairvoyance is clearly seeing without physical eyes a mental screen. You might begin to receive impressions, information from a remote viewing, something that's going on in another location. You see a little story going on. It might be with more than one person. It might be some kind of bit of information you're supposed to follow. Maybe it's a suggestion. I receive sounds and words and sentences sometimes right before I go to sleep, and it's like someone shooting information in my ear, and I'm so tired. I'm like, I can't write this down. I'm too tired, so I don't. I just say I'll remember it in the morning, but I never do. I never remember it. If I don't write it down, just like my dreams, I don't remember it. And so clairvoyance is past, present, or future. And when we do our psychic phenomena, when we practice our exercises, we have been projecting to the future, asking questions about the past. And maybe tonight we'll do something related to in the now instead of always projecting. And then the last is telepathy, having a feeling, knowledge, perception of what's happening at a distant location, and information from one source without normal communication. All of this is just our senses giving us information. So everyone, because we've hit the 1 hour mark, let's do an exercise. And anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Okay, so let's close our eyes and we're going to relax. We're going to let out a breath. Right? We're going to let out a breath. We're going to close our eyes. We're going to relax. And we're going to untense our body parts. I felt kind of tension in my neck. I'm going to move my neck around. I'm going to relax my arms, like I always say, a rag doll or a jellyfish. And we're just going to relax so that we have some peace within us. And the more that we have peace and calmness within us, then the more clear impressions that we will receive, and the stronger they will come through because we are at peace. We don't want to block any information from sharing itself with us. Okay, so we're relaxing and we're like a rag doll, and we're letting go of a breath. We're just taking a breath in, inhaling, and breath out. And breath in, inhale, and exhale. And I hope that you also remind yourself to be in this moment. Imagine your feet firmly planted in the earth's surface. So again, we receive very clear impressions. And I'm feeling a lot of tingling in my fingers. You might start to feel that. You might start to feel energy circulating within your body, if you're sensitive like I am. And we're just going to relax and we're going to push away any thoughts, because our thoughts are not going to really give us any information except what we've already chosen to receive and know from other belief systems. This is just information you're going to receive in your senses, your hearing, your sense of clairvoyance, your third eye, your smell, your taste, your heart, your feeling, your touch. Okay, so we've pushed away any thoughts. So we don't need that. We're dropping down into our physical vessel, our physical body, to our senses. And take some breaths in and out. And now we've made physical contact and we're surrendering to our senses. So we're feeling relaxation. If you need to say any words to let it go, anything that before this moment. And now I'd like you to have focus and concentration and have acceptance and confidence. You can do this. You're having acceptance and confidence. And so you're going to choose one of your senses. I know it's been a few days since we did this, so we have to get back into it. So I'm going to choose my hearing, my clairaudience. Maybe you'll choose your clairvoyance or your clairgustance or clairsustenance, your clairsustenance, your claircognizance, your clairtouch. So I'm going to tune into, what am I hearing? Now, if you're joining me and you also would like to do this, at first we're going to listen with all of our concentration to anything in the room or your space that you're in. And you're going to be aware of not only what you hear, but any kind of energies that your body is sensing in the room. You're going to be very advanced at realizing energies and vibrations. Okay. So I've tuned in my hearing, and I'm going to make the suggestion that you're going to make the suggestion right now that you're going to travel to a location of your choosing right now. You're going to travel to another location. And what does it look like in the other location in this moment? So you're going to make a choice of another location. So I'm going to stop talking and see what I receive. So this is going to be remote viewing in the present. Okay, I don't know if you received anything. I did. So I received, went to a location that was in New York City. I'm assuming it was in New York City. I think, yeah, it was New York City. And at first I heard, it's interesting, it seemed like I heard a word. I heard powerful, but then with powerful, I received the color red. And that's part of what's been happening to me. It's another level. And the red came through as, oh, I don't know. That's interesting. Red, powerful. And I was at this location in New York City. I'm not going to get into any more details because it's personal, but as you can see, so I don't know what you received, if you received any information. And now what I'd like to do is I'd like to do a little bit of stillness with you because I believe that that will help you to find more information. And maybe not the information you're going to get right in this moment, but in the future. And it will help with your clairvoyance. And it will help with you stretching yourself. We are stretching our intuitive abilities here with these exercises. And maybe they sound, oh, that's impossible. That's a little kooky. However, it's going to help you. I guarantee you. And if you have that attitude, then it's never going to work. We have to really, really surrender to this and believe we can do it and have confidence. So let's right now close our eyes again. We're going to close our eyes and we're going to relax. And I'd like you to, again, relax your body parts, maybe tense and let go your arms like I am. And, just make sure that you're coming from a place that you're just really relaxing. Like for me, I'm just going to sit back in my chair and I'm really going to take away any tension that I have. And that comes through as not having any thoughts, letting go anything before this moment, and just being here right now with you. Being here and admitting that I don't know everything. And I think that that's important. I know I don't know everything, but I think it's good for us to admit that we are basically, we have no control of what's going on outside of ourselves. We can control this only. So I have no control of what's going on out here. I just am right here in this moment, trying to have some peace and stillness. And that's what I'd like us to do together. And I think this is of value to you, or I wouldn't suggest it. So we're going to relax, let out a breath, and I'd like you to just focus on your breathing and have some natural breathing. So you're going to inhale. You can choose to inhale through your nose or through your mouth and exhale through your mouth. And let's try to do this a few times together. And maybe imagine that your body, your inside of your body is filling up with light. And we've spoken about reaching the bottom of your insides. And maybe you're reaching the bottom of your physical being. Maybe it's reaching the bottom of your spirit. Whatever it is, I'd like you to try to travel down to the bottom of your insides. As far as you can go. Now, can you find the bottom? And I'd like you to imagine that it's starting to fill up with light. And you're embracing this concept. You're embracing this light. You're sensing that this light is bringing you to a place of your truest self, that you are going to reach the deepest depths of your being. And you're going to find out exactly what your mission and your purpose is. And your insides are filling up with this light. And light is coming up. And it's this yellowish white light. And it's bright and it's illuminating and it's beautiful. And you can feel the grace and the joy of this light traveling up through your body, the inside, your insides. And it's touching all of your organs. It's touching your flesh. It's touching your bones. And it's filling your entire being with light. And you're embracing this light, and you're asking this light to carry you through to your destiny. And allow your destiny to reveal itself. And you're accepting this light, and you're giving this light power and attention and hope. And you have a willingness to be the best version of you, the version of you that can complete every single task that you ever wanted to. Any dream that you ever had will happen for you. And you're allowing this to happen, and you're believing in yourself, and you're going to allow this light to stay within you for as long as you need it to. And you're not going to let it escape your being. You're going to keep it within you, this light. And I think it's time for us to open our eyes, and we're going to keep this light within us. We're going to let this light become part of us, because this light is where we're going. And this light is what we want. We want our destiny to come forward. We want a beautiful civilization to exist in. So I appreciate everyone joining us tonight. And I hope everyone likes the video and subscribes to the channel. And I'm here weeknights. Again, you can find me on this new interview with Athena in Truth. It's very exciting. I hope you watch it. And it's with a channeler. And again, on Saturday, I'll be having an upcoming video with Jilly Clark. I don't know if it's going to be live or it's going to be uploaded. So I'm going to spin light, and you're in the center of it, and you're making a wish. And I want good things for you, and you're a worthy being of light, and I cherish you. You're in the center, and you're making a wish, whatever that is. And I'm spinning it clockwise. And I'm spinning it counterclockwise. And I'm sending you light, and I want good things for you. Tonight we spoke about escape the matrix, earthquakes, weather balloons, and HAARP, and psychic phenomenon. Of course, we got into the rapture. We also spoke about angels. Be well. Bye. Bye, Bob Harding. I copied my comment on your channel too. Thank you. Thanks, music. Thanks, Bob Harding. Thanks, MR. Thanks, everyone who joined us. Shanae and Anastasia.